I love being vegan. I fucking love it. Yeah. It just makes my heart so happy. It makes me want to dance. I want to go hug a tree. I want a pet cow. I just love my lifestyle. I cannot express how much I love being vegan. Best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I know a lot of people say like, oh no, I could never be vegan. I can't do it. It's too hard. But it just sounds hard. I would always have contests with my little sister, and we would see like, oh, who can be vegetarian the longest? Like, let's be vegetarian for a week, and I would always lose. Which is kind of crazy because now I really have the potential to become a crazy vegan, and I need to chill. But something I think that is so important is that people realize that progress is progress. And I will admit, I've done this before. Like, you judge someone who says they're vegetarian, but one day they kind of slip up and they'll eat chicken or something. You're like, dude, like, I thought you were vegetarian, and they get hella shit for it. Like, I think the fact that you're trying to change your diet is a lot. And I know a lot of people try going vegetarian and then they'll get tacos from Jack in the Box and they're like, no, I can't do it. I slipped up. Oh well, I eat meat now. Like, don't give up. If you slip up, it's okay. Just move on. You ate a taco. Be vegetarian again 5 minutes after. It's okay. I don't think you should be so hard on yourself. I mean, even for me, when I was becoming vegan, I had a chocolate croissant after 2 days of being vegan. I felt really bad, but I really wanted the chocolate croissant. But I didn't give up. I just started being vegan again right after that croissant, and I have not eaten a croissant ever since. It's okay. You're not perfect. You know, you're gonna crave foods, and it's hard to get off that stuff. We've literally grown up as a society eating animal products all the time. If you have willpower, I think we need to address the difference between vegetarian and vegan, because a lot of people don't know. Vegetarian literally means just no meat, no fish. And then vegan means no animal products at all. So no dairy products, no eggs, no meat, no fish, no honey, like nothing animal. Say veganism isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle, and that's because we don't use products tested on animals. We don't go to zoos, we don't go to SeaWorld, we don't participate in any circus type of things, you know, like we don't believe in the imprisonment of animals, in using them to test things or using them as food. I think another thing that's important for people to know is that there's different types of vegans. There's a really big ant and I just want to make sure it doesn't touch me. So one is a dietary vegan. So a dietary vegan would be just your diet is vegan, but maybe you use makeup tested on animals, or maybe you have wool in your closet, or you own a pair of Uggs. That's kind of what a dietary vegan is. An ethical vegan is kind of someone like does not use animal products and does not eat meat, fish, dairy, eggs, no animal products. A green vegan is kind of the same thing as an ethical vegan, but you're doing it for a different reason, and you're doing it for the environment, because veganism, honestly, it's a huge contribution to saving the planet. Like, you do not understand how green it is. I want to talk about that, but I think that's a separate video. There's just so much that goes into veganism. A plant-based vegan is someone who doesn't eat any processed foods, or it's just kind of more plant-based, and you don't have anything that's been processed, which is kind of similar to a raw vegan who doesn't eat anything cooked, so your diet is basically just fruits and vegetables and nuts, seeds, everything kind of just natural, plant-based. You don't cook any rice, you don't cook any pasta, and it's just raw food, literally. And there's a Paris vegan who is someone who, you know, you're vegan daily, but maybe if you go out for dinner or you're out with friends, then you'd be vegetarian, and it'd kind of be, I think a Paris vegan is just kind of a more flexible vegan. A virtually vegan is someone who is basically vegan. You don't eat meat, fish, but there's those cases where you do eat eggs or you do eat dairy. And then there's a travel vegan, which is someone who eats vegan daily, but if you were to travel, you would experiment with the local cuisine. There's more people who are just crazy vegans, and then there's kind of more flexible vegans. There's so many different ways to take a diet and a lifestyle. So, you could find one that fits you. There's even some for vegetarians, which there's like a flexitarian, which is kind of like a Paris vegan but vegetarian, which is like you don't eat meat daily, but you have those exceptions where you do eat meat. There's also pescatarians, which is you eat fish but no meat. So for me, once I decided to change my diet, I became pescatarian. But even as a pescatarian, I would rarely eat fish, and it was just, once in a while. And I went 3 months being pescatarian, and then I decided, dude, that's so unfair that fish are excluded, like fish are friends too. And once I did more research, I really became obsessed with this whole vegetarian vegan movement. After being vegetarian for a while, I watched this speech by yourofsky, I think is how you say his name, and it's called The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear, something like that. You guys should really look that speech up. And it kind of opened my eyes, and he really made me want to go vegan, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that milk had cruelty. I thought, cows just were supposed to be milked. I thought it was perfectly normal, and it's not like that at all. I really recommend that speech. So I gave up eggs and milk. I was like a virtually vegan. I didn't know the term at the time, so when people would ask me about my diet, I'd be like, oh, I'm half vegan. And I really was like a half-ass vegan because I wanted to be vegan so bad, but I could not give up cheese. And other products like croissants have butter or chocolate has milk in it. I just didn't drink milk directly. I started drinking almond milk, and I gave up eggs completely. So that was kind of how I started transitioning into it. I had been a year and 3 months after no meat, being half-ass vegan for a good portion of that year. I was like, you know what? It's been a good year and 3 months, but I want to give up all animal products completely, and I became vegan, and I've been vegan for about 2 months now. I think it is so selfish when people say that animals were put on this planet for food. They say, well, why do you feel bad? Cows are meant to be eaten. No, they're fucking not. And I hate, oh my god, I just hate when people say, God put animals on this planet for us to eat. No, I don't believe in God, but God, the way my mom talks about him, the way religious people talk about him, he's good. Why would he create a life for its sole purpose being just to suffer its whole life and go through hell just to become a fucking hamburger? Why would someone do that? Why would you create a life just to make it suffer? Just to put it at the bottom of this little pyramid, of your little specious pyramid, and say, no, you are just food and you were put on this planet just to suffer because I'm a human and you taste good. If your excuse to eat meat is because our ancestors ate meat, then live like our ancestors. Get rid of your money, skin your own coat, kill your own meat. I mean, first of all, that doesn't mean that they were right, and our ancestors were at the point of survival, and their population was growing at a point where they couldn't feed everyone with plants, so they chose to eat animals. We are not at the level of surviving. We are basically enjoying life. We eat hamburgers because we want to, not because we need to. I just hate when people say, oh, well, lions eat meat. Okay, cows eat grass, birds eat seeds, sharks eat fish. Like, good observation, you know what lions eat. Like, that is so annoying. Are you gonna live like a lion? Are you a fucking lion? Are you going to chase a gazelle and kill it with your own teeth and eat raw meat? And another thing I hate is that people say, plants are alive too. First of all, I mean, yes, plants are alive, but they are not sensory organisms. They cannot see, they cannot hear, they are not sentient beings. They don't feel. They cannot experience pain. Okay, your meat eats plants, probably more plants than you eat. If you are such a plant activist, then quit eating meat because they probably eat more plants than you do. I also hate when people say that animals are not smart and that is a good excuse to eat them. First of all, I have met hella stupid people in my life. That does not mean I'm going to eat them. That is not a good excuse to eat animals. Like, god damn it, people. You can do this. I believe in you. I mean, I really, really believe that we are going to make a difference for the animals, and we are being a voice for the voiceless. You are one person, but you count. Vegetarians, vegans, we're taking over the world. I love you guys.